Yeah, if you were, I don't know. Let's actually watch this first. I now want to comment on something on your gameplay here. Okay, gonna get stunned and run away. I think Phase Boost was the right call. Phase Boost is really useful this
Yeah,
game.
this is what I imagined when I was getting Facebook.
Um, so you're gonna fight. You're gonna fight. We're gonna fight them. So I think you
Yeah,
guys
my
are.
support saved me pretty much
Yeah,
here.
I think you guys are gonna win this. So, um, have you ever thought about getting Blade Mail as Wraith King? If I have to ask you, because yeah.
Well, obviously, a Wind Ranger blade mail shreds her. And it's a perfect blade mail here. I think I eventually got blade mail instead of MKB, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, the reason I'm asking all this like kind of crazy question is my job is to just like really just cram in all those ideas into your head, right? Like, what about
Uh,
blade mail? What about omelet? Like, cause you should be
yeah, and
yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, I just wanted to add in because Zeus, there's two heroes. Obviously, Wind Ranger because she will not be able to wind run me, and
Mm.
Zeus, he's such a paper hero, but he deals so much damage. And if I'm able to avoid his damage for like a couple of seconds, it will allow me to catch up to him and kill him.
Yeah.
So it's a
Mm.
perfect blade mail game
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. And this is the one of the really good blade mail game because okay, first off, blade mail is really good on ranking because every time team fight happens, right? If I have an ultimate, then I am guaranteed to cast my blade mail at least two times, right? At least two times. I
Yeah,
activate it at the right beginning of the game, at the right when the enemy team initiate or when we initiate. I can activate my blade mail, and I die, right? I die, but then I come back, and then there is a really decent chance that I can activate my blade mail for another time. So that is why blade mail ranking was a thing before, right? But now, I guess it gives you ammo, it gives you damage. So yeah, why not get blade mail, right? And you're right about it. I can really visualize Blade Mail doing a lot this game. Like, here's where we have to be a little more crazy, right? I know that. Let's go back to the Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage, what he's doing, let's in the minimap, he's just farming, right? This guy
hmm
didn't even bother to get power threats or anything. He's just getting battery free as his first item. This is so crazy. This is so bad. Okay, this anti mage, he has no idea what he's doing. Okay, if he wins, I'm gonna flip. Like he cannot play a game like this.
and he
if
still wants
if he was my student, I would be yelling at him. Okay, this is just so bad. Okay, I don't even have to explain, right? So bad. He's that stupid, right? It's like telling I'm gonna be AFK farming for the 20 minutes. For the first 20 minutes, I am AFK farming. It's gonna be 4 versus 5, right? That is why this
Yeah.
build is so bad. But like, if we know that anti-mage is like such hero, right? Then
Mhm.
we have to find a way to punish them, right? And we don't. When I say punish him, that doesn't mean like we find him in the jungle, right? We don't have to do that. We fight his team. We fight for the objective. We think about how to transition the advantage that we just have, like from the winning 4 versus 5 team fights, and then transition that to into getting an objective, like getting tower, right, or getting
Uh-huh.
Roshan, right? Everything that has to be in your mind, and everything makes sense if you think about it that way. Then Dazzle Letter makes sense. It just gives us better pushing power to make the tower as a paper and kill that. Then we can even transition that to Roshan, right? We have a Dazzle Letter, and I have a Vampire Aura. I can tank it. If I get a blade mail, then my logic will be because I have a blade mail, that's gonna help us to win the fight in the early game, right? If I get a blade
Mhm.
mail, you would have gotten the blade mail like 9 minutes ago, right? You have a sacred relic right now, right? So blade mail is
Yeah.
just so cheap. The build up is just so nice. You would have gotten it at like minute 9, minute 11, right? So imagine you had a blade mail for every team fight, and it just makes it so easier. It just makes the job much easier to win. And if you win that, then you can transition that into farming the enemy jungle. That's gonna be a one way of pressuring anti mage, or like I said, tower, Roshan, just anything can be done. So
Uh-huh.
that's how I think people should be thinking in this
Yeah.
bracket. Like,
I think that the difference between you and me is you probably would have like checked AM's items like 20 times, but this one you would be like, oh, he doesn't have boots, he sucks, let's fight him.
yeah, actually
but
yes, yeah. That's what I feel about it, to be honest.
Yeah, that's definitely. But the problem is, it's not a game of Civilization 6. It's an RTS, so it takes some mechanical skill to constantly check
Oh,
items. Like
yeah.
once you're immortal, you get used to it. So,
No, no. I've been paying attention to mechanical skills. Like you right clicking and last thing. Your mechanical skill is as good as any 4K players. Trust me.
oh,
Yeah. So that's what
that's
I'm
great.
telling you. Yeah.
Yeah,
The reason that I'm telling you this is because I think you can do it. I think you're capable of doing it. I think you really
thanks.
are. So
Yeah, Wind Ranger thinks
yeah,
here like in a very funny manner, but
yeah. If you cannot do it, I would not have suggested it in the first place. But I think you really can do it, because
thanks.
if we don't do that, if we don't do that, like making an attempt to gain more information, we cannot make better decision if we don't have any information, right? So,
Hmm.
and that really is going to affect your game in the future. Like, you want to, when you're not getting radiance, instead of just taking a wild guess, we want that decision to be conscious. We want that decision to have some kind of logic, right? And to
Hmm.
have that logic, we need all those information, and we also need to have that ability to pay attention to the pace of the game, right? Like checking, when I say pace of the game, it's like checking everyone's level, checking everyone's itemization. Those things are what pro players actually do. But in this bracket, I don't think it's that you guys cannot. I feel like it's more of a you guys just don't do it because it's annoying, and it's you guys just think it's not as big, it's not important. But I really think you guys can do it if you just pay attention. Oh my god. Okay, nice black hole.
Yeah, that was very funny of them.
Um, I still think you have to get out.
Yeah,
Huh?
tried to take me out, but it didn't.
Yeah.
I
So,
believe after this moment I got a blade mail because I
hmm,
realized that I just can't
hmm.
tank the javelin on
Yeah.
wind range.
So let's actually do that. You just made a good point. If you had a blade mail, then Wind Ranger cannot do what she just did, right? So,
Yep.
let's also imagine if you had a blink dagger, because like we talked about earlier, we want to be a little bit mobile because everyone is moving slow. So if you had a blink dagger, we can really just use it to play aggressive or even defensive, right? So if we had a blink dagger here, then we can just blink out, right? Here, right here.
Yep.
So that's just like another definition of I don't die. And of course, you're right of the blade mail. If you activate the blade mail, then Wind Ranger kills himself. So
Hmm.
I feel that's also important. Watching the replay and try to imagine if anything would have been different, right? And again, this is like all this, like what you're doing here is just training your muscle memory. Just something different will happen if you get that right, and we will actually do that in our next game. So I think it's important, and I think you're doing the right thing. That's all I'm
Hmm.
gonna say. Okay. Well, you're gonna die here. There's no. Yeah, it's inevitable. It's gonna happen. Um,
Yeah, because I didn't have the proper items to team fight it.
yeah,
So
yeah. That's exactly what I want you to see, right? If that and you actually bought the blood mail. Very nice. Very
yeah, I was
nice.
like, no, no way, because I was like, I'm not ready to fight with only radiance here.
And let's be honest, just because you guys lost this fight right here, and this Anti-Mage got a double kill, he just came back. Okay,
Yep.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Even without watching his like level or at him, I can just tell. Although he was such a stupid player for not even getting anything and just rush Battlefield, skim Battlefield, he's so stupid, he's dumb, but he's now getting his reward. He's getting the reward back because you guys are taking the wrong team fight, right? And you guys should have
Hmm.
really won that team fight, but you guys don't. He doesn't even have a Manta style, and he's winning the team fight. It doesn't make sense, right? So
But can I ask like a question to you?
yeah,
So let's say 1 minute back into the replay, and let's say at the point where I get like this shadow demon kill, would you just back off, or what would be your kind of decision to say, okay, I'm not going in, get out, you feed, I go farm. So I think I've done everything properly up until I killed that shadow demon because I got like a sneaky approach from the back, even earlier, I believe. Yeah. So what would you do at this point,
okay.
right after I got this kill? Because I think I could have survived here. I think I just really zoned in on something and fed like an idiot. But I think like after I get a shadow demon kill, I think I could have just backed off. So what's your threshold at backing off and not
Hmm.
backing off?
Okay. So first off, again, Yeah, you asked me a really good question. Okay, so if I have to answer that, I want to go back, right? I want to go back, and again, pay attention to the pace of game and pay attention to every information that I can gain from this game, right?
Hmm.
And who has? If I have to ask you right now, who has ultimate in my team? Who has ultimate and who doesn't?
Oh, I have absolutely no clue.
No, no, no. But like you can actually know that, right? We actually can. There's a way to check it right away, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
And that it is because how do you check it?
I just look on my teammates and check.
Well, we can also pay attention to here. Excuse me. Options bigger. Do you see my cursor? Do you see this?
Yep.
So if
Oh, I can just. Oh, well. So I actually all my life I just clicked on my teammates. Wow.
yeah, that's one way we can click them. You actually had to do this. You actually had to click it and see the cooldown, like the exact number, 27 seconds. If I were you, I want to know that. I would have checked it, right? But again, just easier way to check everyone's ultimate. Just glance over here, and it just tells me that Grim. Well, first off, check the minimap. Everyone is here, but Grimstroke is there with no ultimate. Monkey King is there with no ultimate. But if I really want to fight the fight, then I would have. After doing this, as I'm doing this, I really don't have anything to do, right? I'm gonna click him briefly and then check this guy's item, ultimate. Check this guy, like item. So it just tells me one thing. I'm gonna go ham. I really think I can consider going ham because their ultimate is almost ready, right? This
Hmm.
is the first thing that you should have done. Because if I don't do this, then I don't know how to make decision. I really don't know. Um, but as I'm watching your player perspective, you're just sort of just going in, right? Without checking that. So that's one thing that I can really say. I think that should be something that should be criticized by yourself because you really should. It really shouldn't be happening. So
Uh-huh.
this
Yeah,
is a more or
that's true.
less free kill, right? That's a free kill. You even have a
Yeah, he
phase was
was out
already.
of position, and obviously.
Yeah, and then if you had checked the cooldown before, right? Like I did. So I'm looking at this game as your player perspective as well. I would estimate maybe this guy's ultimate is on cooldown for like maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds. So I have to take a wild guess. Of course, the easier answer is doing this and actually check it right. So okay, he's almost ready. So see, like I'm not perfect, can be perfect. So his ultimate is almost ready, but he has no mana, right? But he has no
Uh,
mana,
uh,
right? So
uh-huh.
all these things are information. All these things are information. So it just tells me, yeah, he has his little short of mana. He may be able to, but cast it, but it's gonna be only his ultimate, like ultimate, and he cannot cast full combo. He just can't because he's out of mana. Whereas if you check Monkey King, okay, his ultimate on cooldown for 14 seconds. This is exactly what you should be doing as you are actually approaching here. Of course, the better play would be your allies communicating back, but that really never happens in solo rank. So if you can do it, check it yourself. So
So would you say that a nice decision would be to say briefly, like occupy the enemy triangle, and then say Grimstroke buy the arcane boots in the secret shop, replenish your mana, and then if they go on their high ground, then we fight them.
oh yes,
Would
yeah. Actually, you yeah, that's perfect. What you just said is perfect. It makes sense. Yeah, makes total
okay.
sense. Yeah. It makes a lot of
Okay.
sense because right now, again, if you look at this picture right now, Pango is just running away, right, from Windranger, and Pango is using his ultimate. So again, this is an information. Pango has this much HP, which is like below like 10%, and he does not have ultimate, and Monkey King does not have ultimate yet, right? By just looking at this
Mhm.
picture and by just checking like here the panel. So yeah, I don't go in then. I would be very tempted to go in, but at least out of it. And for here, to be honest, I would actually stun it. I really would stun it because if I stun this guy, of course it's a surprise blink. If he blinks in like this, I would get black gold. RTZ will get black gold. Everyone will get black gold, right? Because of your
Mhm.
positioning, right? Because of your positioning, everyone gets. I don't blame you for that. But luckily, you didn't even get caught by the black hole, right? So that was a terrible black hole, right? But thing
Yeah.
about here is, this is where everything just changed. You even got shackled by Windranger, and to be honest, this is about all about micro managing your micro just a little bit to the next level. So um, never However, we even saw Wind Ranger right here, right? If Wind Ranger right
Yeah.
here, then I don't stay here. Whatever happens, right?
Oh.
Whatever happens, I just don't stay here. I just don't, right? I just don't go there. So exactly where you're standing is actually where you should be. If you really, really want to take a good team fight, right? Because if I go a little bit to the left, then if we knew that Enigma has a blink dagger, then he's gonna black hole everybody, and that's something that you don't want to happen. So you already made a right call. The better decision is just to hang out a little bit here, farm this, and wait for this guy to get a energy booster from the secret shop, and then wait for Monkey King's ultimate, and then see what happens, right? But I feel like that wasn't really going through your mind. So this is a hard
Definitely
call.
wasn't. It definitely wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you ask me what would I have done, to be honest, this is a really hard call. Like if I did what I did, like checking everyone's ultimate, I would at least consider playing a little bit passive, right? I would at least consider playing a little bit passive. Now the Pango has an ultimate, Monkey King has an ultimate. This guy has an ultimate, but it's more or less not having an ultimate because he has no mana. That gives me incentive to come back, like play passive. Actually, I would imagine myself doing that. I would consider playing passive. But if you are not doing that thinking process, then of course your autopilot is I see use I go ham, right? I would have done the exact same thing as you did if I didn't do that thinking process. I'm so yummy, right? This is just so yummy. He's in my cast range of cast and stun. I'm gonna go ham. Like I have a radiance, I have the damage. Why not, right? I'll go ham. And this is exactly what you did. You just ran forward and you want to cast stun on Zeus, which you did, and then you got shackle shot right away. So this is what happened, and I think this is how we should analyze a replay, right? And just watch
Yeah,
it back, yeah, and then would I have done that? Why did I do this? What would have been different? How would I have played different? And the answer is by having this thinking process, what we just talked about. So it's a hard call. Yeah, it's a hard call, but yeah, I would not have done this if I were you. No. So very, very small difference. But again, this decision is really what dictates the game from the next like 10 to 20 minutes. You guys lost this fight, and Anti-Mage just come back to the game by just getting a shit bunch of gold, and then you guys are giving him the opportunity, right? Like he had a very harsh early game, and now he survives this fight entire time, and he's killing everyone. He got a double kill. He gains a level, he gains a gold, he's getting close to Manta style, and you guys totally lost the momentum of it, and all of their tier 2 towers is alive. Whereas if you were just dealing this fight a little bit more, your scallies are here, right? This lane is getting pushed in, and it has a catapult. This will deal a lot of damage to the tower. So these are things that I pay attention to. Even like you just got from here, right? Before doing this team fight, you just got from here. So this was the thing also that I would pay attention to. We have a catapult here. So before you actually left, you had a. Let's go back. So that actually matters. So I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. Did I come back too much? Oh, so this is where. Yeah, there's catapult. So yeah, this is where you're leaving because you to join the team fight. But now that there's a Scallies here, right? And again, then they have a catapult, which means we'll have a catapult shortly. If this fight gets prolonged, which means either we are fighting and they're fighting, and then the fight is just endless, this catapult will deal a lot of damage to this tower, right? Or the or the better decision is like you just suggested in the very first place. We don't fight. I stay here, right? If I stay here in the high ground, that's just better positioning for everyone, right? If you're here, then Enigma cannot blink from here to cast Black Hole on everyone, and also you're also zapping the farm on the enemy team, and also because you're here, the enemy team cannot go here. They cannot stop this push. They just can't, right? So you're right about everything. By just staying here, it just gives your team more advantage. Like this tower is getting pushed in, the catapult will deal. So let's actually look at that picture. Look at that exact picture. So it's gonna get pushed in. So look at this, right? Look at this. Like,
oh wow, it's getting trashed.
It's getting trashed really hard, right? And then imagine you guys didn't take this team fight, so you just died, and then you just died. So imagine this didn't happen, and you were farming here. So this group camp is gone. This is gone, and because you're here and you have a radiance, like this guy cannot even blink, right? Like Enigma is cannot even come up here. You're also staying on the high ground, like camping the high ground. That's a huge advantage, right? And so your team is here, and you're sort of like hanging around here, and that's just how to win, right? Just as how to win, just a better place to be. So, and you don't even have to do anything. Just stay up here. Then you're gonna just watch this tower getting trashed, and then you guys have more options to decide whether to take a team fight or just get back or do whatever. So this is exactly what I want you to see as we're watching the replay. So does it make sense or?
Yeah, that actually makes perfect sense. But the reason why I made the wrong decision is because I didn't have like basic muscle memory habits to gather additional information. So if it was like, you can see that I have a muscle memory to cancel the backswing all the time, but I don't think about it. Well, for example, a herald would be like, "Oh, how is it like we cancel backswing?" To me, like muscle memory. To you, it's probably a muscle memory to check the timings of ults all the time on your like teammates, and you're like, "Wow, this guy doesn't check." So the way you look at me is probably by not checking goals is like the same way I would probably look at the herald player who doesn't cancel his backswing or something.
So you were just peacefully farming. We see Enigma on the minimap. I mean, we saw him, right? We saw him.
Yeah, I didn't think they were like all smoked. I just think he was like placing deep
Did the
wards or
right
something.
thing. Yeah. Where did Shakusha come from? Holy shit! Where did it
Oh
come?
yeah, that was very lucky.
Okay.
I guess that was just bad luck.
I mean, you at least activated Blade Mail before the black hole, so I think you did the right thing.
I expected this.
I mean, we have to get back, right? Like we have no. But here's the thing about this. Yeah. So I think you made I would have done the exact same. So that was an unlucky shackle shot, right? And you know, you guys are losing here, but then Witchhawk did a really good job in saving you. Pango did a really good job in saving you. But what I would have done different is you actually ran to the perfect position to TP up. Maybe I would have moved a little bit further to hide here, right? Just that would be just in my muscle memory. I get it that you are safe here, but my muscle memory is I want to hide between the trees just to make
Okay.
extra
Yes.
extra safer. But thing is, my muscle memory from here, it's just this is something that you want to train your muscle memory. I don't TP back to base right away. So you're doing this because it is your muscle memory. I'm low. I TP back to base, right? But I think 5k, 6k, 7k players will not TP back. They will TP to here.
Yeah, because I have Vampiric Aura, and I have
Yeah.
full manas.
And we even have a tower alive, right? We even have a first tower alive. That is
Yeah, but
huge.
I panicked. I panicked.
But yeah, again, this is the beauty of watching the replay. We watch this and you train your muscle memory. The right answer is, if you have to say it, what is the right answer? Do I have to TP to base or?
Yeah, I TP top and because they all committed their TPs, they don't have their tier 1, and I have Vampiric Aura. I have no reason to go back to base, especially as
Exactly.
Wraith.
Yeah, keep going, keep going. I said exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if I was like, for example, some hero which doesn't have like life steal, I don't even know about carries that usually play this. Let me think. I guess Slog without his ult, right? And I guess they have an ability to gank me top. Then I don't TP top. But in this particular situation, I had absolutely no right to TP back to base
Good job.
because my health is gonna be 100% in like a couple of seconds anyway.
Yeah. That was exactly what I was thinking. Like everybody's stuck up here, they're so busy fighting, right? So
Mhm.
I would tip it to here. Thank God our tower's alive. Push this wave, and maybe if I'm good, I can push this one too, and then slowly just farm this, and then just go back to our triangle. Farm that, eat that, farm that, and then farm this, and just do whatever, right? So
Yeah.
small difference, but actually that creates a lot of difference. Like it is, we're talking about your level 20, right? It's a minute 25, and you're level 17, right? And I guarantee if you had a Midas, you would have had the exact same item magician as you're doing right now, and you'll be level 20. Trust me, if you had a Midas. So that's again something that I think I wish you to see. Do you see that
Yes.
happening? If you had a Midas, then you can be.
Yeah, especially if I was like Midasing the siege creeps and range creeps and the big jungle creeps, definitely.
It's so possible. So I guess that's what I want you to see. So yeah, that's it. You made a right call of getting back in this situation. I would have done the same thing, but tip it to here. So
Yes.
All right. Any questions or anything left? Okay.
Oh, right now it's fine.
So let's look at the moments where you talked about earlier that you were pushing high ground and then.
Yeah, but that's like closer to the end of the game, and
Okay. So you want me.
maybe if there's anything interesting in between,
Okay.
it could be
So.
worth watching. Yes, so they have a crazy advantage right now. No, not crazy, but still.
And one more thing, as I'm watching this replay, so again, this is a replay thing, okay? Replay things to train our muscle memory. I just really, really wish I had a blink dagger, right? I just like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't think MKB was the right call here because Wind Ranger isn't the main threat here.
Hmm. Yeah, again, you're saying the right thing. I really like it, like your thinking process. So you're capable of analyzing the replay by yourself. Like you're really good, okay? Like your knowledge
Thanks.
about the game and your insightfulness, it's just there. Like you can do this by yourself. So I
Thanks.
agree with you. Windranger is not the main threat. Like especially when you saw that she got an orchid, like she's like
Yeah,
she's more of a backline support right now. So
pretty
MKB
sure.
will yeah MKB will definitely it's good. It's good, okay? Because there's a chance that Anti-Mage will get a butterfly eventually, but I guess the timing is just off. Like this was not your priority, right?
Yeah,
So
because if I had a Blink Dagger right now, the Zeus would be dead, for example. Like
yeah,
he just
yeah,
jumped into the
yeah.
jungle.
I think your blink dagger would have changed literally everything, and safe to say that your blink dagger would have even won this game because like you can do everything. You can initiate, you can just disengage, like, but and your team sort of lacks the initiator. I didn't check Pango's item, but if he has no blink dagger, yeah, nobody's an initiator in your team.
Hmm.
Grimstroke is not an initiator. Witch Doctor is not an initiator. Pango can't. So it had to be you. Blink dagger is so valuable this
Yeah.
game.
If I had like an Earth Shaker or like an axe, it would. I might have been justifying going to like a Shadow Blade, but in this game, definitely a Blink Dagger here.
Yeah, I mean Shadow Blade is too fine too. Like that's what we talked about. Like it can also be upgraded into Silver Edge, and we can disable Anti-Mage passive. And if he has no magic resistance, then he dies to everything, right? So Silver Edge definitely makes sense. It can be there. But if you are talking about whether to get a Blink Dagger or Silver Edge, it is really up to you. That is why I say to my students, it really is up to you. If you cannot use Blink Dagger right, then don't buy it. Like if you feel comfortable buying a Shadow Blade, then that should be your item. So yeah, just it's important to know that we can always do both or either.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but like the main problem is that I really like Blink Dagger, but pros for some reason just get the Shadow Blade or Silver Edge, and I don't know
yeah.
why pros. Maybe it's just like the hissy feet, or is there like any justification why they usually go more
Um.
with Silver?
Well, these days, the reason is it just has a really nice build up, right? You can buy an Echo Saber, and then you combine that with a Shadow Blade. Isn't that so fucking good if you think about it?
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
it-
It has a
it-
slow mana region and all
yeah,
that.
it's beyond good. Like to be honest, it is a perfect item. To be honest, I think it's broken right now. The Silver Edge item is just so broken. It's crazy how good it is. So that is why pro players get it. Because if you get a Silver Edge, then you also gain a lot of stats. You gain stats, you gain the bonus damage, you gain the attack speed, you gain everything that is needed as a melee carry. So if you're melee, like I see a lot of games that people just go for Silver Edge like right away. It doesn't matter how you play, they just get Silver Edge. Like it's just so good. You gain stats, and it changes the way that enemy team has to play because they have to react to it. They have to buy a sentry, they have to buy a dust. It's so annoying, right? They have to buy a gem, and even it even breaks the passive. That's big on anti-mage, like I keep mentioning. So, I would have gotten Silver Edge to be honest. This game, I would have really gotten it like much earlier.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm. Right.
okay, keep watching. I'm gonna keep watching. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. Just
Yeah, they
fighting.
just keep chain feeding right now.
Okay. Because we don't have BKB, we feel very scared against Anti-Mage. I think somebody killed him. MK did it. So let me ask you, like right here, do we know like everyone's itemization? What does MK have? What does he have?
I have no clue. I don't remember
Yeah.
that.
So we have to do this, right? We have to click him.
Yeah, that's the thing I
Hmm.
don't
Yeah.
have.
Yeah. So as you were watching the replay, This is my job to remind you the importance of doing it right. Like his item magician makes sense. Like this affects my game plan too. Like if he has a dazzler, if he has a blink, I don't know. Like he can even get a silver edge. This guy also can get a silver edge, right? But he decided to get a skull basher, and seeing that he has a Mithril hammer, I think he's gonna go for the BKB before getting silver edge. So I just want that information, right? I just want the information to have.
Yeah.
You finally got a blink dagger. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
this game is just like unplayable without Blink.
mm,
So here I was like thinking, oh, they don't have Enigma, and so we can go safely Roche because Enigma, even if it's like a 4v5, Enigma could just like blink in black hole and steal a Roshan.
okay. Okay. I cannot believe you guys gonna lose this game even after all this. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah, they're just doing some ballsy stuff. But the reason I believe I lost this game is because I indicate my team bait them to buyback, and then as they baited to buyback, they all just died. I got away, even though I misclicked my BKB. So I wanted BKB and TP out. I TP'd out and then BKB, but doesn't matter. Because of one unsuccessful high ground push, we lost the game. Yeah, so here was like, oh, bait them to buy back and go back.
Mm,
So would you think that's a sound idea?
um.
And he was like, think about going back.
Yeah. This. I mean,
This was
you.
not.
Yeah. You guys have. Of course, you guys have to get back. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, get back, get back, get back, get back. I was like, get back, my team.
Okay. Now we fight, right? Now I have to go
Yeah,
ham.
now she fed.
Okay. The buyback doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay. So here's a catch.
So what went wrong here?
So, Anti-Mage killed you, but he didn't really kill you, right? Like you're gonna come back to life. But
Pretty much.
problem is, you're going after Shadow Demon, right? You're just going after him. Like
Hmm.
this is your just built-in. Again, another autopilot. Like from here, if we watch this, like killing Enigma was totally fine. Like this guy is just still stupid. He just wasted his black hole. Like he's game losing shit, right?
Yep.
But thing is, even here, your blink now is on cooldown for 1 second. I think it's cancelled again from Zeus. Um, I am very tempted. Again, I am very, very, very tempted to go for the Shadow Demon because he's in front of me. He's really low. It looks like I can outrun him and cast stun. It looks like he's gonna die. But thing is, if I were you, I would just kill this Nimbus thing. Even before, I don't care about him. Okay, I really don't care about him because
Hmm.
if I'm playing this game, I don't know. First off, I don't know. Let me ask you this question: um, are you guys outnumbering them? That is the first information. Do we have the even
Uh,
number or?
Actually, we are less because we don't have our like. Oh, I believe Pango was either an off. No, Pango was mid, and Enigma was position 4, so they outnumber us. And plus, they have like the high ground advantage of like uh +5. What does high ground give these days? Like +5 armors, +2 region. So
Exactly.
essentially, I think it's even because we have ages, but they're not gonna focus me because they're just gonna focus my entire team. So after the end of the calculus, they outnumber us.
Okay, very good. Here's the thing. Is this going to disappear anytime soon?
So I don't remember what was the timing.
I mean, this was like the reason you guys are doing this is you guys just got the Roshan, right? So I would say that this lasts for at least 2 to 3 minutes. I would say at least 2 minutes, right?
Yep.
So okay, here's the thing. Even if my Aegis is about to expire, I do not go ham. Okay, that's one of the things that we have to study about as you are watching the replay. Because a lot of Dota players have this inbuilt memory that whenever we have an Aegis, I'm invincible, I have to go ham, and I have to die. I have to use this Aegis. They have this misconcept, right? Um, and usually that's what is making them to play unnecessarily aggressive. And I think this can be one of those moments. Like you have Aegis, like I guess that it is 4 versus 4 at the end, still 4 versus 4. But what if I were you? I would be a little bit scared because I don't know. Although Enigma does not have a buyback, excuse me, he does not have a black hole. I don't know if he has a buyback or not. I am not 100% sure, right? So if Enigma buys back, right, and then he just casts a little bit of the mini stun and a little bit of the AOE ability, that actually affects. That is actually something because it's 5 versus 4 at the end, right? So again, if I were you, by just processing all that information, I would be at least considering myself to play passive, right? And then instead of just going ham on the Shadow Demon, right? I just go kill this Nimbus. I just kill this first before anything, and see what happens, right? Because there are some things to check out, like Monkey King doesn't have ultimate, Witch Doctor doesn't have ultimate, Grimstroke doesn't have ultimate, so I want to click on them. I want to check their mana, I want to check their ultimate on cooldown, I want to check their abilities.
So I help my team first. Yeah. So I kill Nimbus not because it's good for me, but because my team needs to approach the enemy team.
Yeah, and if you're fighting with having this Nimbus behind you, like it affects your positioning, right? You guys cannot go behind. If something is happening, you guys cannot be here. Like you guys don't want to fight here. So why not just kill it right away? And then why not kill it? And then another thing to do is pay attention to the minimap. Like if we watch the minimap, do you see how like there's a huge group wave pushing in from top, and there's a huge group wave pushing from the bottom? Just by watching the minimap, like so if we have to go here, then I mean look at this, right?
Oh wow, that's like 2 kills.
Yeah, and then look at this.
Yeah, that's juicy.
It's almost like killing heroes, right? So like all that gives me incentive actually to go back because they even have a catapult, 2 catapult here, and we have a tower alive, right? So again, it's all about the information war. I need those information to control myself. If I don't have it, then I would actually done the exact same thing. And another thing is they were under the effect of the Crimson Guard, right? Everybody has a Crimson Guard. This tower has a Crimson Guard, and this tower was under the effect of the repair kit last time I checked. It was getting repaired. I checked that. This is a replay book. It is getting repair kit. So if I saw that it has a Crimson Guard and under the effect of repair kit, then I just cannot go there. I just can't. I just don't. So, but I guess you went in because number one, you have an Aegis, right? And then number two, you just autopilot, right? So this is game losing. I'll say it right now. What you're doing is game losing. It really is. Because like yeah, you're gonna get shackle shot, right? And then what happened was Anti-Mage used his ultimate to literally triple kill you guys, right? So Witch Doctor is dead. If Witch Doctor is staying this much HP, MK is this much HP, they're dead. His BKB is also on cooldown. This is something that we should have checked about before going ham. We should have checked if MK has BKB available or not, right? But his BKB is on cooldown. So you die here, and then yeah, he dies, and he dies, right? And you're alone, right? And then
so the reason why this happens because they pretty much fold me. They fold me into Nimbus, and they into Crimson Guard, into board back Wind Ranger. So the second you probably see Wind Ranger buyback, you probably blink out and say go back, right?
yeah, and then we don't. Okay, to be honest, if you didn't do this, like you committing to the Shadow Demon, and you positioning to right here, if you didn't do this, you guys didn't even need to get back to like here. You guys would have just hang around and see what happens. Try to process all that information that, like I did, like the tower here, like information, and who has ultimate, who doesn't, and MK has beekeeper, and all that. Do that, and then you guys can get back slowly together, right? Because if you guys get back one by one, like people do some like panic TP, then seeing that somebody's TPing, they're gonna engage on you, right? They will engage on you. So this is where you guys should walk back slowly as a team. Like just walk back, and then maybe check the rune, eat the bounty rune, and somebody can TP up here, farm that, and just reset it, right? But I feel like, yeah, I guess it was definitely a huge part. You just felt too cocky about it. So I don't know. So yeah, this is what we should be doing as we're watching the replay. Any comments? Or are you following
Yeah,
me here?
that was so. I didn't die, but I pretty much fed 3 kills in one single second. Yeah, because that was a lucky shackle shot, and then it was a lucky mana void. And all went south here. And now you're probably gonna cringe because I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna BKB and TP out," but I TP'd out and then BKB'd. I was like, "What the heck am I doing?"
Okay, so
See,
you panicked.
yeah, panicked. And see, unlike
Oh, okay.
BKB,
I mean,
so
this happens. That's fine. Yeah.
yeah, and now we lose the game pretty much.
And then
But that was because I made my teammates kill myself there. Pretty
and
much.
do you see how big this is? Like, now that we're watching this replay, like, you're here, and then look at this tower just dying, right, to this catapulting this huge wave.
Yeah, and this is the last external tower, so it means that mega
Yeah.
creeps are imminent.
Yeah, if this tower wasn't dead, right? Imagine this tower wasn't dead, then I don't know what happens next, right? But then if this tower is alive, then they cannot go for the mega creep right away, right? Even if they win the high ground. So that also affects the game. So all these small things affect the game. That's what I wanted to see. So